Alright, this turns out to be the final build video of 2022. I hadn't intended it to be necessarily, but that's just the way things worked out between the holiday and not feeling much building mojo for 40K stuff. So, without further ado, I'll get you to the build of the Warhammer Age of Darkness Sicaran tank converted to a Sicaran tank destroyer. Okay, we're going to go back to more of the Adeptus Astartes builds. In this case, we're going to be building one of the relatively newer plastic kits for the Horus Heresy era, namely the Sicaran battle tank. And like the other Horus Heresy tanks, there is a lot of plastic involved. This one, however, will be built differently, as I will be building the Sicaran Omega tank destroyer with its massive plasma cannons. To that end, I have found on Cult 3D a 3D printable version of the turret shown in the picture on Forge World. We'll be doing that with that tank. It's time to get started. Alright. There is the Forge World representation of the turret I was trying to build. Down here is the 3D printed version. And I'll be honest, this is actually the second try, because when I first assembled it, I put the cannons pointing the wrong way. Luckily, I caught it and was able to fix it, largely because I had printed extra cables, just in case I ran into problems. I really like how this turret looks, and the good news is, because of the way it's going to fit into the socket on the kit, I can still build the kit turret too. And here we have the completed stock turret, for lack of a better term. This is the dual autocannons. All in all, there's probably close to 15-20 pieces in there, counting the Havoc-mounted missile launcher on the top of the turret. But we are getting there. Now I can actually start, now that I've got the turrets done, I can actually start working on the tank itself. And here we have the completed track sponsons, just waiting for the center hull to be assembled. I still like the way GW's tracks, though segmented, look like a complete roll when you put them into play. Certainly beats dealing with, you know, rubber tracks or something like that. Alright, at this point, main body is complete. I basically need to build the optional stuff and the side sponsons, and then we're going to call this one done. And after a day in the workshop, we have ready for paint one Sicaran Omega tank destroyer with las cannon sponsons and the plasma gun turret. Apologize for the shaking. I was only holding the camera with one hand. Well, my phone. But we also have the option, should we decide to, of going with the standard equipment version with the dual autocannons. Like I said, paint's next. Alright, and now we reach, though not as thoroughly updated during the course of progress as I usually do, the completion of the Sicaran Omega Tank Destroyer, built from the Warhammer Age of Darkness Sicaran Heavy Tank. Alright, what we've got here is the now completed Sicaran Tank Destroyer with its plasma cannons. When last we left this build, the model was still in plastic and bare resin. Gave everything a base coat of Vallejo black primer. Then I went into the areas with where the chapter emblem were going to go and repainted them in white with a couple of coats of Army Painter Speed Paint Runic Gray. The main body of the tank and turret were dry brushed in dark gray to help bring out the detail. The tanks were dry brushed in Vallejo aluminum, while the las cannons were dry brushed in silver or gunmetal, I can't really remember which. And then the barrels were done in copper to help bring out a burned/used look. Same treatment was given the massive plasma cannons on the turret. Cabling was given a coat of, I think that's Bale Red from Citadel's contrast paint colors. Picked out various details in appropriate colors. One change I have made to the Hounds emblem, since I'm using the Luna Wolves emblems anyway, is I've gone to put the crescent moon behind the wolf head in red. Again, honoring what has become the progenitor of the Hellhounds in my new version of things. Engine exhausts were dry brushed in just a little bit of silver. I have also not attached the turret permanently so that I can put the stock autocannon turret on. It was given a similar treatment paint-wise to the as the rest of the weapons. On top of the pintle mount, I have the Havoc launcher that has become pretty much standard equipment for these tanks that I've been building recently. And as I start to hear myself begin to babble, I will put some stills at the end of the video, and thank you all for watching.